Hello, everyone. I am back in the United States, so I thought that I would make a kind of a farewell video. It's very late. I came back from Barbados and Dominican Republic and had to get back before the storm hit New York City. And this will be my last video on Melissa Schuman and Brandon Schuman. So, this is a good day, an amazing day for his side too, and me personally, because, like I said in another video, I have basically proved what I set out to prove. I'm trying to be a little bit vague. I'm very tired from traveling, and I just took a shower, so I am ready for bed right now. So you're gonna have to deal with no makeup and like semi-wet hair. Things are coming to a close with the Melissa Schuman Nick Carter thing. I'm appreciative of the information given to me by someone very extremely close to Nick. Hello, Nick. I know you're watching. I got permission to do the video, so if this is some sort of open letter to Nick Carter, hey Nick, haven't seen you in a while. I hope you and your family are doing good. But we've already established what we spoke about, and everything's coming to an end. And I am very happy that this nightmare for you and Lauren is coming to an end in the next couple of weeks. I'm happy that things have transpired and the truth has come out, but that it hasn't come out publicly. And I am very grateful to have been a part of relieving some of the stress on you and your family and your bandmates, and like I've said in other videos, the people who work around you, Nick Carter, and people that depend on you and the rest of the Backstreet Boys on how they pay their bills and take care of their families. I know that it was stressful for you guys. It was stressful for me. It was stressful for my group of girls, my fabulous 20 group of girls. Like I said, Nick, you owe us ice cream. You owe us an ice cream cone for all we did. But you know what, Nick? We did the right thing, and we did work very hard to prove the truth. You did not deserve what was handed to you and your family. No man deserves this unless they are guilty. You were the victim here. Sadly, a lot of Me Too rape victims and victims of child molestation and incest and people that thought that Me Too was supposed to be an outlet where they could be finally heard, and that this would have been taken seriously, that was actually taken away from these people because of Melissa Schuman. And it was probably the worst thing that could have happened to this Me Too movement. I didn't have a problem with it. I'm totally supportive of people having their story be lifted off their chest and finally be heard. But in the case of Scott Baio, in the case of Nick Carter, you two men were targeted because of your status, because of your wealth, because of your name, and it is wrong. Nick, you were attacked repeatedly by Kaya Jones and Melissa Schuman, and it was absolutely wrong. And like I told you, I could not watch you go down in flames, especially knowing what I knew about you all those years ago. And I guess I'm allowed to say a few things, I'm told, but I want to not take any sort of credit for anything. And I know a lot of people say thank you for what you've done. There was a conglomerate of different girls that helped me, and I must say that my fabulous 20 of who I now consider friends now. I've never met them, probably never will, but you're very lucky to have that many people that are willing to go out on a limb and support you in the way that they have. And I know, Nick, that you never thought that you would hear from me again. I know that. I know that you never thought that you would hear. I didn't expect to be in this position, but I know that 15 years ago when I was, about to get married, and my own husband, was disappointed when he found out about me and Nick Carter and, the stories and stuff. He was just so upset. But now, I mean, his attitude has totally changed. And he's like, I'm absolutely so proud that you stuck up for this guy and Scott Baio. And the fact that you would turn on your friend, Nicole Eggert, who I absolutely loved. But I knew she was lying to the public. The story that Nicole Eggert gave to the public, it was not what she told me in 2011, and that was wrong. And poor Nick Carter. Oh my God. That is just... There is a blog right now that's being written, and I'm going to proofread it before it's released. It's coming out in the next couple of days. It's a continuation of the first blog that was written. I'm mentioned in the first blog. I don't know if I'll be mentioned in the second, regardless, but I will proofread it, and it will be read by an attorney, and then it will be up, and hopefully the Backstreet Boys will no longer be afraid, and they will retweet it and use that hashtag, his side too, so that Nick knows that you're in his corner. And you're going to retweet it, and I want you to read it and see what we found on Melissa Schuman and Brandon Henschel. Now, everyone was bothering me for a video on the real Brandon Henschel. I will say, honestly, that the situation has taken so many turns in this very long 4 months, which is really the reason why I kind of took off on a last-minute vacation to the Caribbean. And that's why I have some sun finally. And Brandon Henschel seems like a moderately attractive guy, but inside is just rotten blood. Melissa, just a rotten to the core person. I feel like anyone associated with that girl, friends or family, should be embarrassed to know this girl. Humiliated and ashamed. Nick, you being a victim, I know he's watching. I know he is. You would think that I would get all dolled up because I know Nick Carter and his wife are watching a video that I'm making, but no. What you see is what you get. Like, I haven't changed that much, Nick. Like, I'm still crazy ass Marissa. I just have blonde hair now. That's it. But honestly, we're forgetting about another victim who's totally going to get lost in the lurch, and that is Melissa and Brandon's child. And I'll tell you one thing. Our group was accused of sending death threats, which never happened. We knew so much about the Henschels. And there had been girls saying so much, call Child Protective Services for neglecting that child. We would never do that to another human being. We never ever called the police, involved law enforcement. We never did anything. The girls that I aligned myself with, and this is the truth, were very solid. And we all tried to keep to being honest and being very sincere. And we actually threw out a girl who's probably watching this too. We threw out a girl in the group who thought that it would be funny to Photoshop naked photos of Melissa and say that her father took those photos. Now, this girl was only in our group for about a little more than a week. Her name was Den Yanine, and I think she was from South America, and she was like this crazy Nick Carter girl. And I believe that she believed Nick was innocent and that she wanted to help him, but even just making a joke about something so disgusting was enough to get her banned. Now, we got rid of her on Twitter. We got rid of her. She was gone. When I tell you that, just me as the admin, I plucked out everyone that either I just could not trust or just was invaluable. They were gone. So I don't want anyone to feel like you weren't welcomed into that private group. It's just that private group started months ago, and we kind of crawled through a pit of snakes for 4 months trying to find the evidence that we could use against Melissa, that Melissa actually put out there herself. Well, it turns out that this whole investigation and stuff is I'm not gonna say yeah, all right, fine, we got the answer. Melissa is going to be having a couple of rough months ahead of her, from what I know. I don't wish this kind of stuff on anybody, but in this case, Brandon and Melissa Henschel brought this on themselves. And then to bring someone into the mix that is terminally ill to attack innocent Backstreet Boy fans, call them fat, call them losers. I think I was called a Russian, what did he call me? A cyber terrorist. Blasting out my address in Vegas, my job in Vegas. Okay, I haven't had a job. I haven't had a real job in like decades. Okay, so like there's things that I do freelance, but like I don't have a real career. Like, I don't care what you say about me. No one's Googling me for the rest of my life. Like, I'm telling you, Brandon seems like he'd be a handsome guy, but he's just nothing but rotten. And he had a big hand in this nefarious and vile attempt to get some sort of pay from Nick Carter and his wife. And I feel so bad for Nick Carter's wife. Because to go through something like that, of what Melissa put Nick and Melissa through, and this is Lauren's story to tell, not mine, but Melissa, what you have done can never ever be forgiven. And I'm not just talking about You accusing a guy of raping you 15 years ago with no proof, no evidence. You actually did something a lot more messed up. And I'm not going to say it because it's their business. But it's going to come out. And I'm not going to be the one that says it because it's not my story to tell. But Melissa, you sitting there and trying to preach the Bible like you're some good Christian actually makes me afraid of Christians. Like, you're one of the most evil people I've ever ran across. And to think that you were in my head for so long and that I gave it life actually disgusts me because you were just so vile. And I know you guys are wondering why I'm getting upset, but you'll find out soon enough. I'm sorry. When I tell you this girl's evil, you'll understand why I got really, really upset. But she did something so horrible. And right now, there's not too many people that know. And it's really upsetting, especially because so many people out there really have been victimized, and Melissa just totally discredited all these people, their emotions, their feelings. Now when anyone comes out and says I was raped, people are just gonna be like, I don't believe you. I need to compose myself. It's just that I know people are confused as to why I'm in tears right now. But you're gonna find out. I mean, it's bad what she did. And you know what? I don't think she even knows what she did. And the worst part about it is, when she does find out what she did, I don't think she's even gonna feel anything because I just feel like she has no soul. And you know what? I'm a big believer in karma. And like I said on Twitter, karma doesn't forget an address. And I told you, I warned you, you better stop. I told you this months ago. And all you did was mock me. All you did was go on your rant. All you wanted was to get Twitter verified so that you would feel important. Do you feel important, Melissa? Because you're Twitter verified? You're a piece of garbage. You are the worst. To think that I have to raise my little boy in a world where there's women like you is just so scary. You have no idea how much it frightens me that my son has to grow up in this world and that I have to keep myself healthy to be alive just to protect him and guide him and warn him about people like you. I mean, it's really, really scary, and especially that you claim that you're such a good Christian. How you were a virgin. You were not a virgin. Who's that Canadian guy that took your virginity? And then Nick. And then your husband. What is going on with that husband of yours? He's so disgusting and gross. Put a shirt on, dude. You're grossing me out. You people are just so vile. I shouldn't even be this upset. But today was such a great day. And the reason that it was great was because I know the outcome. And Melissa, you might know a little bit, and maybe that's why you were so upset on Twitter today. But I know more than the outcome. I actually know what's in store for you in the future. And I told you to saddle up, and I was right. I told you you would never ever win against me, and I was right. You thought that you would just get believed about your story just because you're a woman, that you were entitled to be believed. And now I mean, the whole thing is just such a game changer with everything. You ruined this Me Too thing for so many people. I don't understand how anyone can have any sort of respect for you or like you or ever see you in the same light again. I would never, ever want to be around you. Your energy, the evilness that lives inside of you, the hatred, the jealousy. And what's funny is I look at a picture of you recently, and you look into this chick's eyes. I'm looking into your eyes and I don't see anything. It's like there's no soul there. I'm just so disgusted. I'm so disgusted. It just makes me so upset. I don't know if I'm just exhausted. I'm not jet lagged because it wasn't like a time difference. It was just the Caribbean. But I mean, I'm a little over relaxed from my trip, but to just come back and hear firsthand what you really, really did to these poor people is just so sad. And I have more respect for Nick Carter and his wife. I have more respect for Nick Carter now than I ever thought that I ever would. Because I'll tell you one thing. I haven't seen this kid in ages. I'm not that kind of chick that's gonna be like at a Backstreet Boys concert freaking out and screaming and trying to get a VIP pass and get a pictureless selfie. That is not me, honey. If I see Nick Carter, it's probably going to be a greens and proteins on Eastern. Okay? And I'm going to be like, Nick, what are you doing? But that's how I am, okay? He's good. I don't know what his reaction would be. But I know if I see them, him and his wife, I just know it's going to be greens and proteins or the protein house, or it's going to be the Whole Foods Green Valley. But like I said, I have more respect for him now. That kid really is a survivor, and so is his wife. To go through this, and I mean, even I'm exhausted. This has been hard, not only on them, but this has been hard. I'm sure this has been hard on Melissa and her husband, and of course Nick and his wife and the rest of the Backstreet Boys. Of course you're not gonna see how they really, really feel, you know, on Twitter. They're not gonna show the world how they feel. They can't. You have to understand that. And I know that there are these fans and everything that are just like, oh, the lawyers will take care of that. Oh, yeah, the lawyers will take care of that. Oh, yeah, the lawyers are going to take care of that now. Now, guess why? Good old James Hartline. Didn't I tell everybody that James Hartline was actually a good thing? I know I said that, and everyone said, no, he's crazy. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, If it wasn't for James Hartline, we would not have found out so much. And oh my God, do I owe an apology to Melissa's relative who told me so much. And unfortunately, I ended up telling her off and telling her that I didn't believe her. And she was very upset that I told her I didn't believe her, but she said that she absolutely could not tell me who she was because Melissa and what's his name would freak out. And I didn't believe her. And it turns out, I found out tonight that it was all true. And I'm trying to reach out to her and say I'm so sorry. I don't know. And the thing is, she told me about the police stuff, and I just didn't believe it. But I heard a lot from the horse's mouth, and I'm glad someone's gonna watch this, and this person knows who she is. Thank you for trusting me. I wasn't looking for it, and I hope that I was an outside source of relief for you to vent to, and I hope that you're going to be okay and that everything's going to be much, much better for you. You deserve nothing but peace and love. You have a lot of talents and gifts, and you are absolutely blessed, and this is going to be yesterday's news, and you are going to move on. And now that we all worked together, and this is all going to be put to rest, and forever and ever, Melissa is going to be publicly revealed very soon as a liar forever. You have nothing to worry about, and I know that these months have been such a tough road. But people forget. I don't want to allude to who I'm talking to, so I need to change the subject. But Melissa, I'm a very, very, very nice person. You might not think that. I just don't like being messed with. I don't like being lied to. I don't like having my intelligence insulted. And that's what you did. From the moment that I opened your story, I gave you the benefit of the doubt, and I read it, and I'm sorry, but it just didn't make sense. And your behavior and your past and everything that you provided publicly is now going to be used against you and is going to hurt you, and this is going to continue for a while. And you, Melissa, you will get over this as well. And you'll always be very bitter and nasty, and you'll always be very entitled. But one thing I definitely know that you will be is you will never be forgiven. You will never ever be forgiven for what you have done to those poor people. I don't care how much money Nick has. I don't give a rat's about his income. I don't know what his net worth is. I don't care. but he is still a human being. You had this guy, James Hartline, in a tizzy. You used this guy as a pawn. And it backfired. We don't know where he is right now. We don't know where James Hartline is right now. We don't know if he got his cell phone stolen again. We don't know if he had a heart attack because you got him so worked up. I mean, he's tweeting the FBI and going after everyone, calling this Backstreet Boys cruise a rape cruise and saying that you were brutally raped. And I told you, Melissa, you better get that guy in check. Because now he's changing his story again by saying that you were brutally raped. Where did that come from, brutally raped? You were not raped, Melissa. You were upset because you woke up and saw that he was not there. It was consensual. You know it. I know it. Nick knows it. Everyone else knows it. But you feel entitled. Dream. Who has ever heard of Dream girl group? I mean, I heard of the Spice Girls. I heard of En Vogue. I heard of, I don't know, Snowplow outside my house. I mean, no one's heard of Dream. You were in one movie. You were a one-hit wonder. And your husband's just a backup dancer. You have no education. He doesn't have an education. What the heck are you guys going to do for the rest of your life? You thought that you were just going to target an innocent person and Nick's going to be your scapegoat because you want a house? Oh, I'm sorry that that little place that you're living in isn't good enough for you. That car you drive isn't good enough for you. Why does Nick owe you money? Why does Nick owe you a Range Rover that you want a Range Rover and you want a house and that Nick owes you? Oh my goodness. I mean, like, you need a car that bad? I have an extra BMW. You can have it. Just shut up. I'll do anything for you to just shut up with your me too, me too, me too. By the way, I get a lot of requests for people to do that in my videos and on Facebook and Twitter. Send me a video of you doing me too, me too. Some girl's trying to make a gif of it. See, it's like you're a laughingstock. You're a joke. But you know what? This is all coming to an end. And the public's going to find out. And you're in some trouble. And I know all about it. And I'm happy. I got a little upset earlier because of what I was told. Didn't really hit me when it was told to me. But actually hearing myself talk about it and feeling the emotions of how I would feel if that happened to me, that got me really upset. So I'm telling you, Melissa, I could have been your best friend had I believed you. I could have been defending you if I believed you. But you're just a worthless human being. You are such a bottom feeder that you deserve everything that's coming your way. And I had nothing to do with it. It was all you're doing. So I told you and your husband you weren't going to win, but you kept going. kept saying, you better stop, because I'm not going to stop. But I am going to stop, because I'm going to stop with the videos of Melissa, because my viewers actually really kind of don't want to hear your name anymore. They're like, even my own husband, was like, I can sit there and listen to you talk for 45 minutes, but I'm just so tired of hearing about this girl. Like, she's a sicko wacko. He goes, but it's good when you're making fun of her. I'm like, whatever. I'm a little delirious. I've been up for hours. I've been traveling. I haven't eaten. I'm a little dehydrated. I'm like done. But I'm very happy to know that soon enough, Nick and his wife and the rest of the Backstreet Boys can get along with their lives in some peace, and all this garbage will be put behind them. And thank you to all the viewers. Thank you especially to my girls that want to be anonymous, but I'm not going to let you be anonymous, because if Nick and Lauren want to know who the girls are, I'm going to tell them who the girls were. He owes us some ice cream, right? We're getting that ice cream. Nick. Town Square, that gelato place in Town Square. That chocolate hazelnut, that's the one that I want. But yeah, this was tough. This was very tough. And I don't apologize for getting emotional over this entire thing. It's just when you feel like when it dawns upon you that someone that you haven't seen in 20 years, someone that you never thought that, and I don't sit there thinking about the Backstreet. I don't sit there thinking about the Backstreet Boys or think. If I hear them, then I'll be like, oh God, the Backstreet Boys, and then I'll think of like something funny that had happened, and I'll chuckle it off, and then I'll forget it. If I see a song or if I see a Burger King commercial with like I want it that way, I'll think of Nick Carter. But I haven't thought of him in all these years. But something inside me had always said in the past couple of weeks, who would have thought that, as it dawned on me, who would have thought that maybe I was placed in this kid, Nick's life, for a reason, to somehow serve and have purpose in his life to protect him years later. Why me? Why was I chosen to do this? Why was I chosen at the same time to be one of the people, to be a witness for Scott Baio? I knew Nicole Eggert was lying. I knew she was lying. I couldn't not say something to Scott Baio and his wife Renee. And they were suffering the same way Nick Carter and his wife were. Let me tell you something. I don't know if all you guys, whoever, I don't know anything about a lot of my viewers. Some of them are kids and stuff. But when you're married and you have that bond, when you have a child and you share everything, and something like, you have to go through something like this. I mean, I think about that happening to me, and someone accusing my husband in his workplace. I mean, my husband is Mr. Suit and tie, briefcase. Like my husband is like, follows the rules. He was an Eagle Scout. He does never smoked a cigarette. And if you met my husband, you would be like, is that really your husband? He's like so like prim and proper and like laid back and so professional, And she's like this wild high heel blonde with the big boobs and boobs, and she's so funny. And guess what? You know what? It works for us. And if something like that happened to us where he was accused of something so vile, I know him. I love my husband. I know what he's capable of, and I know what he's not capable of. And I didn't need to be around Nick Carter for years. I didn't need to be around Nick Carter for 15 years to know that Nick Carter was incapable of that. The nights that I had spent with Nick, even just hanging out, watching him play his stupid Game Boy, not a Game Boy, it was a PlayStation. That's all he did. I mean, like, and go like this. I remember Nick. How come Nick not remember? With the French fries from McDonald's. Shove his face with McDonald's with his feet up on the dresser playing his Final Fantasy. I think it was Final Fantasy 4 or something. But he would just not let go of this game. He didn't want to go out. Everyone was like, Kevin, they were all getting ready to go to the club. My girlfriend that I was with is like, well, I'm going with them to the club. Are you coming? And I'm looking over and I'm like, Nick? And Nick goes, I don't really like going to clubs. I was like, yeah, me either. Me? No. The only reason I didn't go is because, well, I needed a shower, okay? I was not going to a club. I don't even know why she went. But, like, he wasn't a partier. He wasn't, like, a predator. He wasn't, like, forceful or macho and all. He wasn't like that. He was just kind of like, I'm just gonna play my game. Can you go get me some McDonald's? I'm hungry. Can you get me this? Can you get me? Yes, yes. Like, I'm telling you, if you ever wanted to know what Nick was like 20 years ago, he was not a rapist. He wasn't drinking alcohol. He never gave me shots of alcohol. I was gonna say something really funny, but I'm not. Oh God, if you only knew the stories. I have so many funny stories, and I don't like to tell people the funny stories because they're private. And because my husband's probably gonna watch this video and be like, Marissa, that was a little inappropriate. Sorry. But yeah, this is all over, and it makes me really, really happy to know that I helped with all those girls and that I helped someone from my past that was at a point in his life where he was feeling helpless. So, Nick Carter, if you are watching this video, no hard feelings. We were a bunch of imbeciles when we were younger. I know I look like an old lady now. I know. Did you hear my husband slam the door? That means I woke him up. Sorry, hun. Okay, my house is like 3 floors, okay? But there's only doors to bedrooms and bathrooms. So there's an enormous echo in my house of 3 floors. So if you're downstairs and I'm on the middle, if someone says something downstairs, you can hear it all the way at the top. It's insane. So I just woke up my husband. I didn't mean to. I should probably delete that part, but I don't know how to edit. What you see is what you get. But anyway, Nick, I just tried to help you. I hope I didn't say anything that was embarrassing. Actually, I haven't. I haven't told anybody our secrets or anything like that. Plus, we were so young. It doesn't matter. Don't worry, I'm not gonna hit on you if I ever see you again at Greens and Proteins. I don't even know where you go. Actually, you keep tagging yourself in places in Vegas, Nick. Like if I was a Psycho fan, then I'd be like joining your gyms and stuff like that just to see you and act as if I was trying to work out when I no. Actually, I worked out in the same gym as Justin Timberlake, and I did a Taekwondo class in with Magic Johnson. He was right next to me in Sherman Oaks. Yeah, isn't that cool? But he sweat. Some of his sweat went on me, and I was like, I don't know why I had to tell you that, but it's so weird because I was just talking about working out, and I'm like rambling. I'm really good at rambling, so I need to end this video. But I hope that this was a good video, and I'm sorry everyone that you guys expected this to be a really funny video and I ended up crying. But yes, when I travel and when I'm exhausted and when I'm just over it, I cry. I just cry. And like I said, in a couple of weeks, I don't know how long it's going to take, you're going to find out the whole truth and you will understand why I got really upset. And it's sad. It's just very, very sad. And unfortunately, we don't understand why these things happen, but they do. And I can't explain or understand why people do the things that they do. But one thing that I do believe in is I believe that the universe gives you back what you put out there. I believe in karma. I believe in being a good person and you will get good back. I believe in dotting my I's and crossing my T's, and I believe in walking a straight line. I believe in integrity, honesty, and loyalty, and I just believe in being a good person and doing the right thing. And Melissa, I am sorry that I could not be an inspiration for you as I have been an inspiration to thousands and thousands of other people. So I would give you the middle finger right now, but I'm too tired and you're not worth it.